Alright, what's going on? As of right now, I am uploading the last video that I've filmed and edited, the one I mentioned in the video before that, where I said I had to make a video for Triumphant Cadaver, which that's what that one is. This is just going to be another vinyl update video. I was going to initially do like another of the collection videos, but those are more work. And honestly, like, I was just in the mood to talk about new shit, and that's what this is gonna be. And you're gonna have to forgive me, I woke up like 20 minutes ago, drank 2 cups of coffee, and I'm in a bit of a fuzzy headspace. I'm still basically in my fucking jammies. I am home alone for a few days, because in the video that's uploading to YouTube right now, I had mentioned that I'm going to, or that I was going to be going to Florida for a few days, because today's Veterans Day, so I was gonna have a long weekend, and then I got offered 3 days of overtime, and I was like, bitch, hook me up. So I'm gonna be getting paid for like 120 hours on this next check, so bang. Probably will end up writing it in the description of the Triumphant Cadaver video, but I forgot to mention a tape in that video, and that's what we're listening to in this one. This is Vor with Elephant. Triumphant Cadaver release. Completely forgot to mention this one in the last video, but it's quite cool. It's basically like very harsh, noisy black metal with like actual harsh noise elements, which I'm not really into the harsh noise thing too much, but the black metal on here is quite good, so good shit. This video is basically gonna explore the gradient of like raw black metal. Some of this shit is ultra raw, some of it is more appropriate, but we'll get into it and we'll talk about it. We're gonna start off with this. This is Carved Cross, The Yawning Abyss of Perdition. I already know I'm gonna end up having to fucking improvise with like the sound clip on this one, because I don't think that any of this material is online. I did a quick scan because I wasn't certain that it would be, and it looks like it's not. That's gonna be fun. And I've had this one for like a year and a half at this point, if that tells you anything about how long I've sort of been just hoarding shit before I actually get around to showing them in videos. The only reason I even have this thing is because old Dictator Ethan had bought 2 of them, knowing I was gonna buy one off of him, because he, you know, he fucking stays up and waits on shit like that. So I basically fucking lucked out in a way. This is probably my favorite Carved Cross material, mainly because I think this is just the most listenable Carved Cross material in terms of production. And don't get me wrong, this is not a massive upgrade. This is still very lo-fi, noisy, raw black metal. I believe this one was limited to 150 copies, not certain. Released through Go to Vortex, and you know, they always come with these like obi strips here. There's the back cover right there. There's only 2 tracks on this thing. Nourished by the Marrow of Those Once Yours, and Tortured Journey Towards That Face Which Stares Only Back at You. Now, what I can say against this Carved Cross release is that there are only 2 songs, and they kind of sound identical to each other. So a lot of times before I film one of these videos, I'll kind of put the record on and skip around if I'm not, you know, completely 100% familiar with the release, and you know, this is not something that I listen to every day. And pretty much anywhere you land, it kind of sounds like wherever you were before. That being said, I really like it. I like the dark atmosphere. I like the production quality because it's not completely unlistenable, like I said. Some of that early Carved Cross stuff probably would be considered unlistenable, but not this. This is pretty good. Album cover is real weird. It's literally just like a bundle of sticks. You saw the back cover and the obi strip. It comes with an inner sheet. To be honest with you, I have no idea what's written on here. I don't know if these are lyrics. I assume they are not, but I have not tried to follow along to make triple double sure. The record itself is just black, and the labels are relatively uninteresting. Despite this being a style of music that I don't listen to every single day, it is really cool to own this, because I do really enjoy this material specifically from Carved Cross, but also just because, you know, if I ever do get on like a raw black metal kick, It's cool to have shit like this, and you can't just go hunt it down. Like, this thing's going for like 150 bucks on Discogs right now. So that's retarded. I'm not spending $150 on ultra raw black metal shit that I don't listen to every single day. So whatever, good shit. Check it out. I have no idea what I'm gonna do about the sound clip, but we'll figure it out. Carved Cross, Yawning Abyss of Perdition. Alright, next up here from Australia to Poland, we got this. This is Evil Feast with Eisenheimen. Relatively raw black metal from Poland, and a lot of sort of synthy shit in with the music, and I'm a sucker for shit like that. This is a relatively new standalone EP, because these songs, there's only 4 of them on here. All 4 of these songs came from a split from 2008 with a band called Marble Bog, which is not on here. I think that's what it was called. But this also includes a cover of The Ancient Order by Infernum, which I don't believe was on that original split. I believe that this is the first pressing of this one. There were 2. They were both identical, and they were both limited to like an undisclosed amount of copies, so I have no idea. There's no way to tell, and honestly I don't really give a fuck. Musically on this one, it's cold and very thin sounding black metal, but it's also fast with like blasting drums, which is a pretty cool mixture, I think. And the synths on this one are not throughout the entire thing. They're more spread out, but they kind of make standout moments on the actual release. Unfortunately, this is one of those like fold over covers, but I'll show you what it looks like. But there's the album cover right there. I like the Evil Feast logo, though I think Evil Feast is a really shitty name for a black metal project, or any project. There's the back cover right there. You have the track listing and a shot of Grim Spirit there. There's not anything printed on the inside of this fold over cover, which is kind of a bummer. Feels a little bit lazy, but whatever. It's not like I fucking look at it every time I even pull the record out. Again, just black vinyl, and the labels are literally just Grim Spirit and the same picture from the front. But this is a pretty good example of listenable raw black metal. I like it a lot. I like everything Evil Feast has done, but I think if you're into any like raw black metal shit with synths and stuff like that from time to time, then Evil Feast is pretty much the best of the best for that. Check it out, man. Really good shit. Evil Feast, Eisenheimen. I know there's gonna be fanboys for this shit, because people hold bands like this to a sort of status of adulation that I don't think most of it deserves. But every now and then you come along a project that you kind of have to make exceptions for. For me, this is the best of the best in terms of this sort of circle of like new black metal bands that are overly raw for no reason, and sort of release everything in very limited quantities, artificially inflate the price of everything. I think it's a fucking scam. I don't like it, but I found myself on Arcane Altar's website. They had just gotten this, and I do like Sanguine Relic. As much as I hate the way that shit like this is marketed and sold, I just think it's bullshit. Anyway, this is Vampiric Will. This is, I think, the first full-length album from Sanguine Relic. If you look on Metal Archives, there was 2 that came out in 2015 when this was released. Don't remember the name of the other one, but they were both released in the same year, so I can't say for sure which one came first. And being that the first album came out in 2015, I think this band has 5 full-length albums now and a pretty densely packed discography in a matter of 4 years. And from what I understand about this, this is the second press of this one, and it has been remastered. I have the cassette version of this one, and I honestly couldn't tell you if that's remastered as well. I literally don't know. And this one was limited to 150 copies. Musically, it's very, very simple, and that makes it memorable. And that makes it to where you can sort of hum along with it in your head later on in the day, and then you end up finding yourself going back to it. The vocals are very loud and very sort of distant in the mix. Even it being memorable and having good riffs and shit like this is so unnecessarily raw and lo-fi. And like, you know, it didn't have to be that way. It was like an aesthetic choice. And every one of us knows that like the early raw black metal was raw because it was sort of like, it was like a lack of resources. This is raw for aesthetic, and I don't like that shit. I think it's dumb. I think it's effective because it's so simple that, you know, you can still make out what's going on. But yeah, I don't know, man. Whatever. It's good shit anyway. I honestly couldn't tell you who this is on the front cover, so there's a stakeout for my life. Sorry. There's the back cover right there. It is just separated in passages and rests, and the rests are sort of like, from what I remember, sorry, the rests are just very short, like little instrumentals. Again, fold over cover, nothing on the inside. Comes on black vinyl, as you can probably imagine. Same dude. And this little paper right here, which just has the track listing. It says, forged in endless nights of melancholy and hatred, recorded under broken skies in November of 2015. If that's the case, I imagine this one is the second full-length album. Whatever. If you like raw black metal, you already know it. Check it out. Good shit. Sanguine Relic, Vampiric Will. From the United States to Portugal, we have some more very, very raw black metal. This is Terran Oxford with Blood Beast. As of right now, Blood Beast is the only full-length album from Terran Oxford, following a block of 4 demos that all came out in 2017. To be honest with you, I don't love this material. I have to be in a mood for it, and whenever I put it on, it's always a little bit more unlistenable than I remember it being from the time before. This one is chaotic and completely devoid of melody. The vocals are overly loud, they're layered, they're distorted. It sounds like a fucking monster. And honestly, it's kind of like a wall of noise, and you have to pay close attention to pick any of it apart. I like some stuff like that. The first Totalitarian is a good example of something like that. Like stuff like Conqueror is probably a good example. And there's very little that just comes on its own in terms of like enjoyment that you can get out of this for me. If I do sit and pay close attention to it, I find shit that I like. I don't like how loud the vocals are, no matter how hard I try to. I'm gonna do 150 copies again. And again, this is another one of those fold over covers. I do like the album cover. I like the art on this thing all the way around. These guys had the sense to put something on the inside. I love this. Super fucking cool. Blood Beast. It's kind of like a even scarier looking Count Orlok. You got the track listing right there. It looks like there's 7 songs on this one. This was released through Final Agony, if you didn't see it down there. This one came out in like a block of releases from Final Agony. If you remember when they put out like the Cosmic Church Caress split, and like the newest Circle of Ouroboros album. Black vinyl, nothing really to show there. Yeah, a lot of people really like this, and I know this one is kind of sought after. I don't want to sell it because I could see, like I said, I can be in a mood for something like this if I just want something loud and in the background. This is good for that. So check it out if you're interested. There's something here I think that just hasn't clicked with me yet, but I'm trying, man. That's Terran Oxford, Blood Beast. Alright, finally from Portugal, we go right next door to Spain. This is Awstats with the self-titled compilation Awstats. There's a little thing on the back here that sums up exactly what this is. Awstats is a compilation of previously unreleased tracks composed during the last 8 years, re-recorded and adapted for this release. I don't know if these were supposed to be demo tracks or if they were kind of throwaway tracks or anything like that. But this is probably musically my favorite thing that I'll talk about today. This one is much more, in my opinion, appropriately raw, with quite a bit of melody and very, very impactful synth work. That melody, of course, comes in the riffs, which are all fantastic. The vocals on this one are awesome. I can't really describe them because however I would describe them would kind of probably describe a lot of black metal vocals, but something about these, I like them. What I think is important about something like this is kind of a testament to having a very dark atmosphere without forcing a dark atmosphere by sounding like you've recorded your black metal on some old Nokia. Because this isn't overly raw, it's not overly noisy. Everything here is very coherent. This one flows better than most shit I've talked about today, and this wasn't recorded as an album. These are literally just songs, you know, written over a span of 8 fucking years. I think that this is just a better example of good songwriting. Some of the other shit I've talked about today can definitely say they can write a good track, but I really feel like a lot of it is forced, and Awstats is, for me, the direct opposite. I think the only other thing I've talked about today I could say doesn't sound forced is Evil Feast. I don't know, man, whatever. I'm not complaining. I like pretty much everything I've shown here. This was released with another Awstats release, which I think was actually an album, maybe the first one. I don't exactly remember. But there's the album cover right there, really fucking cool. There's the back right there. You have the guy behind Awstats right here. Just some information and track listing, put out through Altair Productions. No inner sheet or anything like that, just black vinyl, A, B, real simple. Again, this is probably my favorite thing I've shown today. This is definitely the most coherent and accessible thing that I've shown today. I think you could probably still get this relatively easily, so I would recommend you guys track it down if you like good black metal. Check it out, no fucking excuses. Awstats. God, I look sickly. Oh, I hope I die soon. That's 5 more records. Tried to keep them all relatively similar, which I like doing. I like sort of theming videos. Anyway, next time I am actually going to be back doing the vinyl collection videos, or the next one, that's what it'll be. Starting off with the Ds, I think. These are just, for me, more fun to make, and those take longer, so, you know, it's hard to convince myself to get up and make one of those. Yeah, but we're done for now. Thanks for sticking around, and we'll be back soon. Hopefully soon. I don't know. See you when I see you. Later.